Good morning. Really hoping I can get through this workout because I've tried to do it about 3 times this week. And twice, Zwift just kept crashing on me. And once, my mom called, and talking to my mom was more important than finishing the workout. So, see if I can get through this. They get a really cool kit from Zwift. So I've got a black and red jersey and shorts in the program, which makes me super happy. The further you get, the more you can customize, which is so much fun. Got an hour and 10-minute tempo ride today. Some of it's fairly easy and some of it's at what it considers my max. So let's see how this goes. Been doing a whole lot of house hunting and looking up visa information and cost of living and taxes and all that jazz. It's been fun. Found a number of properties that I do really like. Now we just got to kind of narrow it down to where we really want to be. We've already kind of started thinking about packing up and downsizing and whatnot. The original plan was kind of get a pod and try to return it. I think the plan now is just to buy a shipping container and then basically just put it on our property where we want it and turn it into a shop or, you know, maybe a workout area, something like that. So maybe that's where my ice bath will go, I don't know. Property I'm kind of favoring right now is a no longer functioning, from what I can tell, vineyard in Romania. It's got quite a bit of land, which is kind of something we want. Only thing that concerns me is I don't know how many of the grape plants are still living. Can't really tell in the photos. And grapes are not good for dogs, so we have to do a lot of eradicating if that hasn't already been done. But it's the perfect property to build like a bike touring track and a schützen field and all that. So done another property that has stables, which would be perfect for just turning those into kennels for the puppers. So got a couple options. Found a really cute place in Slovenia next to a river. And I do kind of want to be next to either a river or a lake for the sake of the dogs. So we'll see. I'm going to be shifting a lot of my social media focus. I'm going to be consolidating basically all of my profiles and everything. I kind of fell for the whole, oh, niche down nonsense when I first got started. And I'm really over it. So a few of my profiles are going to get deleted. Just because I'm not doing anything with them anyway. So having them doesn't really benefit me from what I can tell. And the bulk of the content once we move is going to be about the dogs anyway. So still going to be putting energy and focus into my ice wellness program. And I do still believe that there is a really good way to do ice plunging, and there's a not so good way to do ice plunging. You know, I've been seeing the Rise app a lot where it's like, oh, find your perfect bedtime. And that's kind of what our program is for ice baths. Find your perfect time, your perfect temperature, because it is so, so important. So I'll still be making my ice bath content. I'll just be merging it with the rest of my content, essentially. I might like leave the Instagrams split, and just maybe do content on both. I haven't really decided that one yet, but my Red Queen Realtor one, obviously I'm going to delete because I'm no longer going to be a realtor. And then my main page will become my Kronika luxury page, which I'll probably rename. Let's see. Whew. So far, so good. My computer did a Windows 11 update, and that's when Zwift stopped working. So I did a restore back to the previous one, and then it wouldn't even open the application. And so then it reinstalled Windows 11 on its own, and after it did that, everything started working. So currently, we're looking like we're gonna get through. I got through the last workout on here without it crashing. I do have a backup. I have an old Chromebook that has basically nothing on it that will open Zwift, and I have gotten through the workout, but it takes about 4 times as long to get into the workout than on the computer. If you hear a really loud whirring noise, I apologize. I'm pretty sure this computer is dying and the fan is struggling. Every now and then it sounds really unhealthy. I haven't dropped any more weight. As per usual, it's kind of fluctuating between 130 and 133, which is normal, so I'm not overly worried about it. Like I said in a previous video, I'm not really doing this for the weight loss. More for the cardio, so I can work the dogs and not die. Did have someone on the YouTube give me advice on how to be low carb and low sugar as a cyclist in response to a comment I had made, and I just ignored it. I appreciated the effort, but the assumption that I didn't know how to do it already was kind of aggravating to me. But I'm not the person that has to leave a comment, and I don't understand the people that do. And he might have just genuinely been speaking from experience, and he had a hard bonk and wanted me to avoid it. I don't know. That's the problem with the internet. You really don't know. But hey, David. The max time. My longest ride was, I think, 5 hours. Typically on here, I just do an hour to an hour and a half. Just depending on what the workout is. But I try to aim for like at least 45 minutes a day. This particular one is a structured workout, so it's an hour 10. Sometimes I like to do 2 rides in one day, although not consecutive. But my longest consecutive ride outside of the garage was 5 hours. And that was a lot of fun. Other than, I think, 3 flat tires on that ride, because the canal route here in Phoenix is death to tires. It was fun. I think we got up to 72 miles, 74 miles. We were aiming for 100. And then I got a new mountain bike. And so we kind of stopped road biking and started mountain biking. So we still haven't done our full imperial century. We've done a metric century, obviously. I haven't quite hit that 100 miles yet, but we'll get there. Part of getting there was learning how to fuel on the bike without, you know, chemical gels and cake and all that stuff that like normal cyclists would eat. So that was an interesting experiment, but figured out that applesauce and the to-go baby food pouches are perfect. And of course coffee, because I like my caffeine. I meant to go live yesterday, but we went to a RC swap, and Smith was getting one of his RCs fixed, and that ended up taking about all day. So, came home, tested his RC, drove my new RC that we got for some really fun YouTube videos coming up, and then by that time, I just didn't feel like riding, and I knew I had one more day to get this workout done, so here we are. Plus, I don't know how many people are really watching lives on a Saturday afternoon. So, Sunday morning seems like a better choice. So, of course, if you're seeing this on YouTube, it's actually Monday, so if you're confused, that's why. I am maintaining 105 watts right now, so it sounds like I'm struggling to talk. That's why. And I am wearing one of my favorite BFit tops. This is one of the first ones I bought that wasn't just pure black. Some of my friends yelled at me that I needed to have more color for my launch announcements. So, here it is. I posted before, but if you're watching this on YouTube, or on Facebook actually, I'll post the link so that you can check them out. And I'll post the coupon code, which is Kronika, which will get you, I think, 50% off, which is pretty good. I really like their stuff. I don't typically wear active wear if I'm not working out. But I will say their straight leg leggings have been perfect to wear under my scratch pants when I'm working the dogs. And I have used the bell-bottom ones as pieces for like Halloween costumes and things like that, because they're just perfect. So. The workout I'm doing right now is the workout I thought I was doing on Friday. And I was very confused. Because like I said, I've been at least halfway through this workout once this week. And a quarter of the way through it probably 4 or 5 times. And so I was really confused because my wattage yesterday, it had me staying between 90 and 60 or 90 and 65. And my brain was remembering the one I'm doing now, which is wattage between 105 and 120. So I was extremely confuzzled. So when I opened this morning and it looked familiar, I was very happy. I did rinse out, but I need to full-on wash these gloves. I will say, like, I always see people online complaining about like the salt and the sweat from their hands ruining their bar tape. And I was really confused about why they didn't just wear their gloves. Because I always do. Because it's more comfortable, because I don't like when I have sweaty hands and don't like the way it feels. A couple days ago, I wiped sweat from underneath my nose and I smelled them. And it made sense all of a sudden why most people don't wear gloves on indoor training. So I rinsed them out, but yeah, they definitely need a full-on wash. And I have like 4 other pairs, so this is where having multiple kit really does come in handy. You know, extra pair of shoes, so the shoes you're wearing don't get funky if you're cycling every day. Extra shorts, obviously, because they get gross fast, especially if you're a heavy sweater. Extra gloves, things like that. Talking too much, not focusing on my cadence. One of the guys on GCN did 24 hours ride time in Zwift. And he was asking people for advice. And one of the things he recommended was to change his kit every couple hours. I was like, why would you need to do that? But it makes total sense. When you're outdoors, you've got the wind, you're moving, you're able to wick it away. Whereas when you're in your garage, there's no wicking it. I mean, if you have a fan, it's gonna help. I do not. So it made total sense after I started actually using Zwift. I don't know why he would say that. I have not eaten yet today, but I did do an applesauce, so I do have some energy other than just my stores in my body. I'll probably burn through those really quickly. My water is just water. I don't really like carb drinks or sugar drinks. When I'm done, I'll have a lot of protein, so Greek yogurt, high-fat Greek yogurt, not that non-fat nonsense. high-fat Greek yogurt with some protein powder, and then probably some eggs, just to help with the muscle recovery. And then of course an ice bath later. I have a plant-based protein powder that I really like. It's blueberry flavor. But the other thing I really like about it is it has a complete amino and the electrolyte profile. And when you're low carb and low sodium, like I am, then holding on to electrolytes can be difficult. So anything that I can get that'll add those without adding extra carbs and sugars and all that nonsense, I absolutely love. It's kind of hard to find products that I like, but once I find them, I'm hard pressed to try anything else. I keep seeing adverts on TikTok and Instagram now, I think, for liquid collagen. And I'm all about collagen. I have collagen peptides that I take. I have a collagen powder that I mix in my coffee. I'm very pro collagen. But one of the themes that it advertises is that it's got hyaluronic acid, which, you know, if you're somewhere humid, that's great. If you're in the desert like I am, you should be really careful, because hyaluronic acid will pull moisture out of the air into your skin, right? And that sounds fantastic. Problem is, if there's no moisture in the air, it's gonna start pulling it from your body. So you're likely to either feel more dehydrated or your skin will feel more dehydrated because it's pulling the moisture out of your skin. Now, full disclosure, it's been 15 years since I studied skincare, and maybe hyaluronic acid has evolved. Maybe they figured out a way to stop us from doing that. So if you live in a dry environment, be careful with supplements that have hyaluronic acid. They might make you more dehydrated. Go. So last week was a roller coaster. Making a commitment to myself that this week will not be a roller coaster. Whew. I've got an achievement of some kind. Can't read it though. And that's part of the reason I'm simplifying my social media as well. One of the profiles is definitely not in front of the kind of people that I want to interact with or help. And so I'm just going to scrap it, because, you know, if you don't want help, that's fine. But the negativity can quickly become too much. And for the most part, I've dealt with it because I figured the greater message is more important. But I can still put that message out on my profiles that are in front of the right people that I would like to help and be fine. So that's kind of next weekend's project, to get all my tax stuff consolidated from my LLC, as well as all my other income streams, and then simplify my socials. Because like I said, once we move, the bulk of my focus is going to be on my dogs. So it just makes sense to cut out the profiles that are noise. But I'll still have my podcast with Donna that goes live on Fridays on Facebook, and then gets posted here to my YouTube the following Friday. So still be able to give insights and tips on how to start digital marketing and all that kind of stuff, but most of my short form content will not be aimed at that. So you might think it sounds weird. I'm saying there are people I don't want to help, but a fair amount of learning anything new falls on you. And I'm not looking to work with people who need their handheld or think they're going to get rich in 3 months because they're believing the hype and stuff like that. So and then with the cold plunging, obviously we will hold your hand because we're guiding you, but that's a little more structured, and like anything, we choose who we work with just as much as they choose us. So if that sounds mean, sorry. One of my favorite memes I saw lately was, yeah, I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea, I'm a cup of coffee. And I love that. Because too often, especially when you're new in the online space, I feel like you have to kind of tailor your content for everybody. And it's just not true. We have 40 minutes to go and I haven't got to the hard parts yet. To be completely honest, I didn't want to do this today, but that's the point, right? Consistency and discipline are what you need way more than motivation. I think that's a piece that, again, everyone likes to miss. The saying, well, I wasn't motivated is a good excuse, right? Saying I'm not disciplined hurts people's egos a little bit more, but that's the truth of it. You're not going to feel like working out every day. The same way you don't feel like going to your job every day, but you do, and you don't want to get in trouble. Like, you gotta approach your own life with those same stipulations. And you can't keep yourself on track. The likelihood of you accomplishing something personal is going to be a lot less. Or, you know, get an accountability buddy. Very pro accountability buddies. That's one of the reasons I like watching GCN. Those guys ride every day. They ride for their jobs. And then I see them on Strava riding after work. I'm like, you know what? These guys can find time to do it. So can I. And, you know, sometimes you put on a hill climb video or a hill climb workout here in Strava, sorry, Zwift. It auto uploads to Strava. And then put on one of the difficult climb videos from GCN. And hearing their pain kind of helps drive me anyway. Might not work for everybody. So that's one of the ways I stay motivated. Streaming live on Facebook is another way. So I've committed to one live stream of a workout every day or every week. So while yes, that commitment is more to me than anybody else, if I don't do it, it's glaring there on my profile, the flashing neon sign that I didn't do it. So it's the same reason last year I was live streaming my ice bath challenges on my Instagram. It held me accountable. So, you know, whatever it takes. Said it in a previous video, don't rely on motivation. I hope the audio qualities on these are good. No one's really commented saying they couldn't hear me. I asked someone one day if they could hear me. They never responded. And then when I saw them later and asked, they admitted they were watching with the sound off, which is fine. But David did respond to me, so I'm assuming that I can be heard all right on Facebook. I don't know how much talking I'll do in the last half of this. Because it looks like it's about to get painful. But I'll try my best. I do find that as much as I love doing workouts early in the morning, so I can just be done with them for the day, they tend to feel a bit easier if I do them later in the day. Just because I have more readily available energy. But part of doing long rides is being able to pull and metabolize your stores. So I like knowing that my body can do that too. I tested my ketone levels before I got on, when I was in fairly early stages of ketosis. And I did have some sugar with the applesauce, so I'll test again after the hour and see if I burned it all or if I stored it and knocked myself out of keto. It's been fascinating to track, honestly. Like, I've had days where I've had 2 pieces of homemade lasagna, and then the next morning was back in keto because I'd worked out enough, so it's been fun to track. Not saying that keto is for everyone any more than, you know, ice baths or cycling is for everyone, but it works for me. It makes me happy, so I do it. Ooh, this is about to get really painful. Shake out the upper body. The last couple have been having me stand. I don't know if this one's going to. If I do, I might go out of frame on the YouTube, but sorry. Might be all sitting, I might be lucky. So the sessions, or the intervals I've been doing in this workout have been 5 minutes long. The reason I say this is going to hurt is this one's a 14-minute one, from what I can see. So this is going to suck. But that's why we do it. Type 2 fun. Fun after the fact. That's how a lot of my life goes. Alright. First 3 minutes aren't going to be terrible. It's 6 minutes after this that worries me. Like the ride next to me is discussing sports. I have no idea who's playing today. I'm guessing Philly. There's a lot of mention about birds and eagles. This is about where I was when my mom called. The really annoying thing is if it crashes, or if you exit, it doesn't save where you were, so you can't just pop back in the middle where you were. So on the one hand, it means I got extra workouts in this week. But you wouldn't know it if you looked at my Strava. Which I think I could have just ended it and uploaded it. But I didn't want it to mark it complete and I hadn't actually completed it. I am struggling. But that's okay. That's why we do this, is to get better. Excuse me. Been a little phlegmy this morning. That's a slight headache. But oh well. Oh, that's not bad. It was cold when I first walked in here. It's not cold anymore. Whew. Apparently everyone's going for the Eagles to win the Super Bowl. Okay, so I'm definitely struggling through this one. I just dropped my percentage from 100 to 93 just to bring the watts down. And my legs do not seem to have it this morning. But one of the nice things about this is you don't have to stop just because you're not feeling it. You can adjust the plan, right? You can adjust what percent of FTP you want to be at. And you can pause. I'm gonna let you pause for like 30 seconds. And then you can either end the ride or you can start spinning again and it'll keep going. But if you just don't have it and you don't spin for 30 seconds, it auto ends it. So it's better to adjust it back, in my opinion. Than to give up. I will say I did have a glass of Johnny Walker Black last night. And that might be part of why I don't have it this morning. Might not have got good enough rest. But we're plugging on anyway. Whew. 25 minutes left in this workout. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna grit my teeth and make it. Probably gonna be really gassed afterwards, but again, that's where the high protein breakfast comes into play. and then not collapsing on the couch afterwards, right? Whew. Someone gave me a ride on. Thanks. So even after the workouts that make you feel good, super important to stretch out and keep moving around. If you're not trying to build muscle necessarily, cold bath, great way to avoid delayed onset muscle soreness. Even a cold shower, you know, you can do some stretches in the cold shower to make it bearable. Calf stretches and stuff. Those super, super tight calves. Always have for some reason. So there's a couple stretches on and off the bike that I do just to avoid that morning stretch where you stretch and end up with a massive Charlie horse. That happens to me a lot. I hate it. As my hands wake up because I'm tired, my form is failing. I'm dumping into my hands more than I should. It's funny because these workouts go so fast because they're constantly changing. But when it hurts, right? So my power's there. So I'm really struggling to keep the cadence up. I thought about bringing some grapefruit juice out with me to give me that natural sugar. I probably should have. I think I waited too long before I had the applesauce, and I think my body is struggling to actually break it down and utilize it because I went straight from having it to the bike instead of giving it 30 to 40 minutes to start digesting. So I have dropped my percentage down even further. I dropped it from 90 to 80. Not proud of it, not happy about it, but there's a fine line with health and fitness, mental or physical, from pushing yourself and getting stronger and pushing yourself to the point of negativity. And I think it's really important, you gotta remember there's a balance. So some days you just gotta honor where your body is and not push it. Some days you do gotta push it, and that's how you get stronger. So today for me, because I track my nutrition and my behaviors and everything else, I kind of know why I don't have it, and I think pushing myself is just gonna up my cortisol levels rather than upping my strength. So I'm bringing it back down to where my cortisol will not be activated. And yeah, I'm not going to burn as many calories. I'm not going to work as many muscle fibers, but I'm going to get through it. So that's the thing, right? On the days you're not motivated, maybe that means you do a lighter workout, you know, less weight, more reps, or gentler cardio, you know. Zone 2 cardio can be really beneficial. And essentially, the first half of this was just zone 2. So once we moved into zone 3 and 4, my body said no. And I don't want to ride to the point where I make myself bonk, which is where like you literally can't move, because I have too much other stuff to do today. So pulling down the intensity, pulling down the heart rate zones is the decision I've made for where I'm at. Not everyone will agree with that. That's fine. I'm pretty used to people on the internet not agreeing with me. And even at reduced intensity, I'm still sweating. So 14 minutes is up, putting me on 3-minute rest. And then it looks like 2 minutes of effort, 3-minute rest, 2 minutes of effort, 3-minute rest, 2 minutes of effort, 3-minute cool down. So there's a chance that I'll be able to up the intensity for the last 1 or 2. But for right now, I'm going to stick with what I have it at. And again, you don't want to activate that cortisol. One of the reasons I started ice baths in the first place was to help bring my cortisol levels down. An intense cardio can activate it. Not saying that intense cardio is bad for you, but again, balance. Cycling is a great workout. It is a great way to lose weight if you're trying to lose weight, as long as, again, you're eating properly. Diet has a massive impact on your form, not just from a weight perspective, but from a BMI perspective and all that. So I find it funny that in 2025, we've already seen videos of doctors saying exercise does nothing to help with weight loss. I've seen experts claiming calories in versus calories out doesn't actually matter. I've seen experts claiming that macros don't matter, like percentage of macros they're getting don't matter. And the problem with all of these is there's studies that contradict them. But more importantly, they're making these generalized statements, which assumes that there's a one-size-fits-all approach. And we already know that everyone's body is different, and that everyone processes, metabolizes differently, right? So making blanket statements is detrimental. And I find that a lot in the ice bath community, where it's, oh yeah, you know, you need 2 minutes, oh, you need 3 minutes, oh, you need 11 minutes a week. Well, if personally all you can do is 30 seconds every other day, do that. You know, you're still gonna get benefit. Maybe you're not gonna get the full benefit, but you're still gonna get benefit. So these broad stroke generalized comments don't really help anyone. And if anything, they deter people, right? Partially because too many people want the quick fix. They want the magic pill. By the way, you shouldn't be bouncing as much as I am. Like I said, bad form, 'cause I'm tired. Also probably means my seat's in the wrong position. My back muscles should not be activating the way they are. On the other hand, it's kind of a fun ab workout. Anyway, back to my rant. Broad generalized statements can actually drive people away. And, you know, if your friend wants to try cold plunging and you're chastising them for not doing 11 minutes a week because that's what 𝐊𝐲𝐉𝐻 says to do, or Wim Hof, or whichever one, who both plunge in like 50-degree water. So of course, 11 minutes is gonna be easy for them. You're not doing your friend any favors. So this is why I'm a firm believer of, you know, find what works for you. What our journal is 100% designed to help you do. What time of day is best for you to plunge? What temperature is best for you to plunge at? You know, where does your body get the benefits? And that's going to change over time, right? As you acclimate, as you heal, you'll be able to push, you'll be able to do more extremes, but no one knows you the way you do. Especially when it comes to your body, if you're not going to the doctor or getting regular tests and whatnot, you know. Even if you are, I mean, doctors are not infallible. So take everything with a grain of salt and just see what works for you. And that's not to say that, you know, I don't know, what's the Atkins? It's not to say that Atkins isn't going to work for you. But maybe you need more protein, right? Like carnivore works because it's protein and fat. The problem with carnivore is there's a lot of micronutrients you lose because you're not eating veggies or fruit. It's really not sustainable for most people. So, yeah, find what works for your body and a way to sustain that. And it's not easy. I mean, that's the long and short of all of it, right? It's not easy. Some people will try one program and it works and they can stick with it. Some people will go through 30 different programs, diets, whatever, right? And give it a chance. So many people will try something for 2 weeks and go, well, that's not working, so they jump to a different thing, and they jump to a different thing, and they jump to a different thing. I don't know if we see that so much in the health and wellness space. See it a lot in the online marketing space. Shiny object syndrome is a real problem there, so. And I didn't get into cycling until 5 years ago. And I didn't really get into cycling until probably 2 years ago. But I love it. I'm not a runner, I never have been. But obviously, escape bikes and things like that, I'm running from the dogs. I need to be able to put pressure on the dogs. Not hurt them, obviously, but put pressure on them. It does take a lot of cardio, a lot of concentration, a lot of strength. So, for me, cycling is a great way to get that up, get that cardio up, without blowing out my knees or getting shin splints, which is really what happens when I run. So, which there's some data out there that just says, yeah, just keep running, eventually they'll go away. But cycling's more fun anyway, in my opinion. If you are a runner though, and again, I'm not affiliated with Zwift in any way, but Zwift does have a program for runners. You can use the same world that I'm currently in, but run instead of cycle. I don't know how much the treadmill attached to it is. But I think the program itself right now is free to runners. Whew. 8 minutes to go. I watched a BFit video over the weekend. Pretty sure my saddle's not high enough on my trainer. But to be fair, this bike was drugged behind the truck for a little bit. So the setup is not perfect. And I've definitely not had it on the road since that incident. But I did have it too far forward at one point, so now I need to adjust it up. I think it's also slightly too small. So when we first bought this bike, I'd never really owned a bike, so I didn't know what I was getting into. And they said the smaller bike would handle better, so I did get like maybe one size smaller than I should have, which now is uncomfortable on my bench. Kind of sucks, but it's still a good bike. It still allows me to do this, so. Where we are moving gets snow. So if I do end up setting up my bike in the shipping container, in the winter I can just come out and just collapse in the snow and get my ice back that way. Which I say, but I hate snow, so we'll see how it goes. So obviously the move might interrupt the live streams. That's okay. At some point the computer and the trainer and everything will get put in the shipping container, because I want to have my ice bath front and center. They're likely to want to inspect it for sure. So it's very strategic how we pack the container to make it easy on customs. but that's probably a few months out, so I'll keep you guys updated on that too. A lot of you actually are really beneficial with sending us countries to look at properties at. A couple of them I hadn't even thought of, so this is catch-22 of like, I love looking at properties, but when I find one I like in like 5 different countries, I have to like start thinking about the logistics of like, you know, should we go over there and actually see all of them, or like, what's that gonna cost, how easy is it to export the dogs, all that jazz. And that's it. So yeah, that was more difficult than I intended it to be. But sometimes that happens. You know? Not every day is going to be perfect. Oh, I got another ride on. Thank you. Appreciate that. Oh man. Like I said, guys, I will drop the link and the coupon code to BFit if you like my activewear stuff. They don't make cycling specific kit, so you're not going to find patterned shorts or anything like that, but their tops are cute and their leggings are cute. Video shorts, it's not padded. And their bodysuits are awesome. I love those. If you're interested in kind of what protein powders and stuff that I use, or natural fuel sources versus the gels and stuff on the bike, just ask in the comments or let me know in the comments that you want to know, and I'll give you my list of stuff, or I'll put it, I might just put it in the YouTube description for the sake of it. Because I think it's important to fuel properly, right? Not just fuel for getting through the workout, but fuel for your health as well. I had a batch of protein bars that I bought recently, and I used to really like this brand. I haven't had them in a long time. And I couldn't even finish them because it literally just tasted like chemical to me. So I'm a very big fan of proper fueling versus some of the sports nutrition stuff. So whew. Almost done. Just short of 19 miles. Burned off 340 calories, which according to this is equivalent to 1.2 slices of pizza. See you guys next week.